Order. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Present. Trustee James Williams. Here. Trustee Theo Brooks. Mary Bell.
Present. Please stand for our station.
United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need to public comments.
Yes, I have.
For the charges.
Oh, I'm gonna bring that from attendance. Yeah. Can I have a motion to allow $50 to attend next Friday?
So,
Move it. Second by Trustee Williams. Roll call.
Mary Lewis, absent. Mel Sadden. Paul John Colter.
Rosa.
Will Thompson. Rosa. James Williams. Yeah, I mean, Rosa. Okay. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mary Bell.
Now we have Trustee John Colter participating in telephone. Ms. Science.
Hi, hello, Mr. Mayor, trustees. First of all, I just want to say, I am happy to see economic development happening in our community. However, things need to be done decently and in order. There have been a lot of presentations about proposals, there's stoplights being built. None of this has gone before a commission. I have not met. I've asked for notes to previous meetings, and I forwarded it in September 1st, to be honest with you. And I've been ignored. I've been ignored by the commissioner, I've been ignored by the clerk. I don't know if notes were handed in to the clerk. So I have nothing to go on to work on this commission. And I feel like things are going forward, people are voting on things. Is this, Trustee Williams, is this customary? Is this the way it was when you were a commissioner on the planning commission?
No, it shouldn't work like that. You should have been given your minutes from the Madam Clerk. But we always have meetings. We had them in this room. We had to have a court reporter. We did everything according to record, way it was supposed to be done. So I mean, even at him shop, anything that was coming here, we had the right to vote on. Now I know that the mayor may say different, say, well, there's certain things that don't have to go to the plan commission, but for the most part, they should be going to the plan.
I wanted to be part of this record. I'm sorry. I wanted to be part of this record that I have not received any FOIA, I have not received any minutes, and this is not in order. Thank you, you are correct.
Well, Mr. Sanders, let me just give you a point. The planning commission only meets when there's a proposal for a change for a variance or special use permit. Outside of that, that's when the planning commission.
Excuse me, Trustee Williams, how frequently did you guys meet?
That's it.
We met quite a bit, and, it was for variance, it was for timing,
None of that is happening. I'm sorry, something is wrong. Because everybody's coming here with ideas and you all are voting on things. And I'm looking at a parking lot that's Carvana that was, you know, surprise to some of you because you didn't know what kind of, so what is happening? I want to know, because it's not in order.
that is out of order, and I agree with you.
We need a hall.
My name is Renee Hill.
Steel, I'm sorry.
I'm not very good at public speaking, but my parents and I have been out here for over 20 years. And earlier today, I would like this to go on the record also. Earlier today, I had an incident with the chief of police over there. I called University Park Police for assistance because my father passed away September 9th, Reginald Hill. And my sister has been really like putting me through a lot as far as trying to take custody of my 10-year-old and things of that nature. I have a 17-year-old also, Demarnia Jones, who attends Mountain High School. My son is with me, and I have a court order for them to relinquish all of his personal items. So I called University Park Police. I didn't come over to my parents' property or anything, so they arrived on the site. Once they arrived, I got out of the car and I showed the other officer who was with the chief. I showed him my motion and I also showed him a court order because it has specific items that they needed to give my son. And it just seemed like upon arrival, they just seemed a bit irritable because everything that when I tried to express to the chief what was going on, he stopped me right while I was speaking to him and was like, I'm already aware of what's going on. And he seemed to, like I said, be a bit irritable. And I don't know the other officer's name who was there on the scene, but he does. He was like talking to my brother who was inside my parents' home. And he started bringing out like these really big garbage bags. Now I'm parked on the sidewalk, I'm not parked in the driveway. So these bags are big, and my brother is, because I mentioned my son, he has 5. That's one of the items that he really wants to know the last thing his grandfather bought for him. And my brother was coming out and he was saying some unpleasant things, and I'm not gonna lie, I was exchanging some unpleasant words as well. And the chief was trying to pretty much hush me up, but he wasn't saying anything to my brother. Now I'm like basically walking from the driveway back to the sidewalk. My brother is bringing out these big large bags, like I stated. And the officer was placing them right by my brother's vehicle, which is in the driveway. I asked the chief if he can help me. He said no, he was not going to help me, and he did not help me. And I had to bring those bags to the it was about 2 bags. I brought them by myself, and I was literally struggling with them. So I asked him at one point, because he just kept saying stuff to me like, we don't have to be here. You called us, you can leave. And I was like, well, if you feel like that, you can leave. I can call someone else. And he was like, I'm the chief. So it don't matter if you call someone else, I will just tell you not to come to the call. So, as I stated, they were bringing the bags. I was like, I'm gonna pull in the driveway because it would be more convenient for me. Because again, these men were not helping me. He told me I could not park in the driveway, that would be criminal trespassing. And I said, how? I don't have an order of protection or anything out, like the state that I can't be here. And then I ended up getting like the last bag or whatever. And I had made a report to University Park 2 weeks ago about my sister stealing my son and our mail. I knew that she was taking our mail because I have the Daily Digest mail signed up to my parents' home. And my son had been getting letters and report cards from Queen Monique addressed to me. And also he had been getting scholarship offers. So I knew she had been stealing the mail. So I turned around, I made a U-turn, and I went to the Randolph house. I also have a video on Facebook Live showing all of this. I go to Mr. and Mrs. Randolph's house. Well, when I pulled in front of their house, he told me he got to knocking on the window, trying to like tell me that I couldn't be there. I said, why? I'm not bothering anyone and things like that. And he was like, well, if you want to visit them, you have to park around the corner on Blackhawk. So I said, I'm gonna do one better for you. I reversed back a little bit and I parked in their driveway. When I got in their driveway, he was still saying things to me. I have this on Facebook Live again, as I said. When I got out of the car, him and the other officer, no, I got out of the car, walked up to the Randolph porch, I rung their doorbell, and they got to like just approaching me like they were gonna arrest me. And I was scared because I called you all for help.
We have rules. I'm a little bit of time about rules. About 3 minutes. If you would like to talk to the chief superior after the meeting or to the sidebar, I would appreciate you talk to Mrs. Scott.
That's fine because I have bruises on me because of the way that they manhandled me and everything. He literally, it was 2 men. They didn't read me my Miranda rights. He picked me up underneath my legs, by my buttock, and everything. My wrist is swollen. I can barely move my right arm. This wrist is all like, this is crazy. And I called for help. And they gave me 2 citations, and he charged me with disorderly conduct and obstruction and resistance. But they never gave me my Miranda rights. He never told me why I was being arrested or anything. And that's my whole reason for being here at this meeting. Because that's not fair. And I do have it on video. And Ms. Robin was also on the phone with me while half of this was going on. Up until I got to the Randolph doorstep.
Mr. Mayor.
Randolph are your neighbors?
Yes, they live right across the street from my parents' home.
Ms. Hill, first of all, again, because I got a note from one of you as my wife and I did try to leave in the card in the mailbox for your loss. And especially for what you all are going through. Something like this should not have happened. You do deserve professionalism. And I think every board member up here will feel that something like that will be investigated.
Please.
So if you can, Ms. Scott is our board's manager. She is his boss. We are their boss. And we will follow up on that. We would like to know what happened at a later date if you can. And especially with me, consider a former police officer.
He was even trying to tow my vehicle that was parked in their driveway. Like, this is ridiculous.
I don't know the details. Right. I agree with that. Don't get upset. I know it hurt, especially. Right. So then, again, I think we all agree as a board that this is something that we'll let the village manager follow up and she can do this as whatever process they need to go through. Considering we all know what happened with her file, the sudden death. Yes, I do my time.
Robert Walker.
So, hi, everyone. I am here for a few reasons, that being one of them, as we just heard. And I was on the phone call for half of that, but I came here to just ask the chief, because I did tell her to call the police to get everywhere to keep from there being any issues. And so when I was getting the call back and heard all the stuff, I was a little bit disappointed as well. So I did speak with the chief as well. So if, I was just gonna ask if it's all possible to please dismiss those charges, because she shouldn't, whatever happened, it shouldn't have escalated and she called for help. So I was here to ask for that. And then also on the good note, we just left the game, the Cremoni Middle School Lady Warriors. They won their regional game, so they should be going to the semifinals and hopefully.
Thanks, Mr. Walker. Vicky,
Hello, Mayor and Board.
good evening.
Just for the record again, I'd like to state in the record, the word typo means error in spelling or typeset mistake. That's typo. Omission is inclusive, excluded, not to be submitted as a part of. Last board meeting, I asked why the committee people were not appointed, and they said it was a typo. I just wanted to make it clear the definition of typo versus omission. Next question and concern. How many of you are going to be in the yesterday cities tomorrow?
Gonna be where?
In Atlanta, Georgia, tomorrow. How many on our boards? Anybody attending? How many of the trustees are going?
Are the trustees going to the?
I question. Who's going? Just
I'm not going.
Who else is going? Pardon me? No, I ain't going. Okay, I'm going. I'm there myself. So.
Yes, yes, I'm going.
Okay, that's all, but I want to know for the record, when you said there was a typo and it wasn't in the last agenda, typo again. Typeset of material, I understand that, sir, I understand that. And it's a spelling, it's not an omission in the agenda. Thank you.
The typo that you're referring to, what's that about? What typo?
Well, last time.
Lisa O'Brien asked you.
Ask a question about,
On the agenda. Of people that wanted to be in the activities, and commissions on, we said it's a package. So I want to explain.
good evening, board, mayor, thank you, everyone. My name is Lisa O'Brien. I'm a member of the University Park Community Block Club, and I just want to remind everyone. I just want to remind everyone, and the viewing audience of Family Vision Day begin on Saturday, November 18th, from 1:34. And you have the RSVP, and the number is 708-476-4133. And we are looking forward to seeing everyone there, seeing you all there. And also December 2nd, the Community Block Club will be hosting our annual Christmas ornament exchange from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the University Park Library. Please bring a wrap Christmas ornament if you would like to participate, and we will have light refreshments will be served also. And then also on December 18th through the 30th, we'll be having our outdoor Christmas decoration contest. That's all. Thank you. December 2nd is from 10:30 to 12:30. That's Saturday. Okay. Thank you.
Just a quick question, is that something that we can put on marketing? Or I'm not sure, I know that, I wasn't being asked.
Just give me information.
Mr. Trust, do that? Look, that was the question, Mr. Trust had on Saturday, call you guys.
Ms. Trust.
And that was it. Ms. Trust, the mayor answered yes. I know you had a question, if it could be put on the marquee on Saturday. Can you ask that question? He said yes. Remember, he told me to remind you.
Okay, what question are we talking about? I have so.
Community
The events on the village marquee.
right, for the family thing or this, right.
Okay.
He said yes, it could go on marquee. Remember, we had that question at the meeting?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So he just said yeah. It could happen. He put it up there. So just reach out to legal.
Just send the information.
Right.
All right, Deborah J. Stroud. Just send the information to this, changes.
Okay, from now on, I want, all of those, to be included. You said that the guys here. It's a matter of record, let the record show.
It's really not up to him, it's up to the ability.
This is more, yeah, this is Deborah Stroud. Mrs. Stroud, please.
Is that true? No, I just want to, I just want to say that it will be up there now, so, block club is community block club, that's all over the village. So we will be advertising it, we are not a profit organization, so we will, these are family events that we are sponsoring for the town.
This is Mrs. Stroud's turn at the podium right now.
I can't see the rear, so I don't know it was her turn.
Yeah, I just called Mrs. Stroud, she's the last one in public comments.
Okay. I was just trying to think about don't interrupt the person when you're talking.
Thank you. Mrs. Stroud, please.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, those present, those here. Just want to, kind of reiterate on a question I heard in regards to if there's University Park Library, if the public works department, if the police department and the fire department has bilingual staff. I'm asking again, does the village hall have any bilingual staff in reference to the asylum seekers that we have in our community?
No, we do not have anyone currently. That was all the time, because we do have institutes of public works. I'm not sure about the library, and we
The
also.
library does have bilingual staff.
And then the other department that you inquired about, police department, yes, we do have.
No, I wasn't inquiring about the police department, I know they do have bilingual. The fire department does, and the library, and public works also.
Yes.
So I'm still inquiring about.
And I can really help with that.
Can you give perhaps some kind of estimate, if it's being sought out, if it's on the radar?
Yes, it is on our radar. It's definitely a plus. If you are bilingual, it's always when we hire individuals, we are looking out for them. Recognize that there's a lot of silence in this.
Okay, does that mean that there's staff that can really talk?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Ms. Rhodes. All right, that concludes our general public comments. We'll move on with this discussion item 518, discussion on the 2023 tax exemption effective 2024. Yes, sir, Doctor. You want to go to the podium, maybe? Whatever's good, as long as everyone can pick this turn.
Okay, so I'm here to talk about the tax levy. What we are doing is going to be doing an increase, but because the overall tax levy, you are losing your bond because you're going to pay off. This is the last year of your bond levy, all those dollars.
Hold on 1 second. Guys, we can't hold a very serious matter. Please proceed, sir.
So we are moving all the bond levy dollars into your operating levy, so the overall change in the tax levy will be a net zero. So what we are doing is your operating levy as of the 2022 year, which was last year, was $6,426,331. The bond levy was $482,352 for a total tax levy of $6,914,683. We are moving that $400,000 related to the bonds into your operating levy. Now, it is creating a operating levy over 5%, and per the state, the way the student taxation law works is if you're changing your operating levy, which is not counting your debt, you have to disclose it that you're going over 5. But the overall change in the tax levy is 22 was 6,914,683. 23 proposed is 6,914,683. So overall, the tax levy is not changing.
So I got a quick question here, which is gonna be a concern to everybody. The real estate taxes on our homeowners will not go up, is that correct?
Correct.
So,
Yeah, so,
the village portion will not go up.
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
Because
so we won't be going 4.99 this year.
of the bonds.
Because of the bond, we will be doing 7.6, because we're moving the bond money into your operating.
But that still would raise taxes, wouldn't it?
No, because the bond, you're losing that bond. So the way the county works is the bond levy is automatically included, but this is your last year of your bond. 22 was the last year. So because that is gone, all those tax dollars are being moved up into your operating.
What bond are you speaking of?
The Democratic comments are over, please don't jump off from the audience.
Okay, so this year, you're saying that it would be 7.6, is that what I'm looking at?
No, I would look at where it says 2023 estimated levy. On the far right, so 7.6 is the operating levy increase, but then the 0% is the overall change. So we're going from 6,914,000 to 6,914,000.
Right. Okay, so. And okay, and I know that's the reason why, we, right, I'm looking on 4.99, and I'm not gonna lie. Taxpayers pay attention.
I know, because
My
now.
election is coming up. I know I just had, that's so big. Trustees back. Last time I need is one of these letters in the mail saying trustee books ticket. You know what, you're right.
That's quiet here.
But we need to have understanding. Not going nowhere. I am not going. You better get some help. I'm just gonna lay down with you.
Okay, so, Mayor, just for a quick second, I'm gonna do a point of order of the rules that, let me remind that the chair, actually, when we conducted the business, the committee of the whole, as well as the board meeting, attorney correct me if I'm wrong, usually after public comments, even the city of Chicago just passed their rule, and if I'm not mistaken, we do have standing rules where in the committee of the whole, the trustees, during the meeting at this portion, we're the only one that will speak, and that it is the mayor that gives the acknowledgement, am I correct? Yes, sir. Okay, so I think I just gave it, so everybody, if you have a question, please, let's wait till after the meeting, okay? And I'm assuming that Ms. Millie Morgan heard that. So Ms. Millie Morgan, I just went over the standing rule. I know your concern, but we are going with the standing rule, and that is, especially for something that's important for the levy, that it is only the trustees of this portion after the general comment that we can speak, that only the trustees can speak. If you have a question, you can have it afterwards. Okay, just hold your question. But the chair is in reference to you being removed, that's up to the chair, but I'm just saying, I want to give us a point of reference, standing rule, Because I'm being honest, I don't intend on voting for this. So you probably need to listen to everybody.
I want to listen.
Okay, so it's up to the mayor. I think you need to leave that to the mayor.
Mix out, you got it also.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so let me say this. This is my comfort level. I am so used to 4.99. Election is coming up. Taxes go up just a little bit. I don't care if it's a school district. I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying. If the taxes go up a little bit, I don't care how much they go up, Brooks. This don't look good. And it's real easy for my opponents to say, he raised the taxes. So, just help me with that.
So there is no change in the overall tax bill, because when it comes to the president's tax bill, they're getting the 6.9.
Okay.
They are not getting the difference between what's the operating levy versus bond. All they're getting is a 6.9.
Okay.
We're doing 6.9 to 6.9. There is no overall change.
Okay. So there is no, and although we used to it, and like I said, we've been doing it for
Since 2005.
yeah, it's been 4.99 since 2005. So I don't want to make a, I trust you, but I just want to make sure because the residents hearing this is very easy for them to get, as you see, one resident already said, hey, that was one reason why I ran. You went from a tax that was at, I'm paying $2,700, the next year I'm paying $4,500. And I watched people in 2009, it was somewhat the same thing. They got crushed and all lost their houses over there on Farmview and so forth because of the taxes was tied into the FHA loan. So, okay, so explain that one more time. Sweeten that camera, leave us so you can put it on.
So the tax, your levy in 2022 was $6,914,683.
Right.
The levy that we are proposing with an increase is going to be the net levy of $6,914,683.
So actually,
It will be exactly the same as last year, no change. Correct. And we threw a good chunk of those bond dollars into your pension levies so that way we can help with the police and fire pension.
right, yeah, probably. I just want to yield a second to the village manager and ask Ms. Scott, what's your opinion about this?
My opinion is our taxes are not gonna go up. I discussed this with John and Chris in detail, and it's just simply because the tax levy that we're eliminating, I believe it's an E-Series bond. The last payment is 400 and what is it,
455,000 is the principal, and then we have the interest rates related to that. So it'll come out in December.
Right, that's what that last payment, right, that last one, yes.
And this
Yep.
is the garage.
Golf.
Yes.
Yeah, next word. Okay. Okay, that, I yield my time, Mr. Mayor, because as I say, the trustees, I know the residents, I don't think they're looking at it, but when the trustees see the change in the rate from 7.6, I think that make anybody worry, but, just stick around in case someone has a question, because, like I said, this includes the tax assessor, when Nancy Barker came in 2009, she gave us a number. So we just got hit so bad, so the reason why I'm so adamant when it comes to is that I understand what it's like when you're not at work and you get hit with a mortgage that just pretty much your shortfall is like $600 in your escrow. And, it's because the board of trustees did something wrong. As well as the school, if I'm not mistaken, they almost at 9, but yet sometimes they point the finger right back at the village of University Park. So we just, I thank you for that, and as long as you're on record, trust our.
Yes, folks.
So you say the levy's not changing,
Correct.
but the assessment can change, right?
We have no control, the village has no control over the assessment.
See this.
So the taxes can theoretically.
Theoretically, they can go in both directions.
think we have to start with that. And also, also, property taxes will go up just by cause and effect, because now the EAB, the properties are increasing. So when we're paying taxes on $150,000 house, now it's valued at $210,000, the taxes definitely will not be the same. So you will get an increase, and most people want an increase because they want to increase values for their property. So that's why the taxes will go up without anybody controlling it or doing it just because of the area. The EAB is increasing. So, any other questions?
Yeah, Ms. Trustee Porter. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, guys. Trustee Coach, I'm sorry.
I wasn't able to speak everything, but could explain the need for the increase of the tax levy. We do not have, when we do not have, because the bond is in the floor. Right, so we don't have to pay the bond anymore, so that should mean that we should have that additional, we should be asking for additional money. So what is the reason that's for a hospital? Levy announcement.
Donna, Trustee Fulcher, I know that if I'm not mistaken, our last payment, our final payment is in December. December, yeah, it's coming up, we're approaching fast, so then it will be eliminated.
Right, but that was covered. That's covered for the last tax levy. We already account for that last tax levy.
No, we kept our levy at 4.99.
Right.
So we're accounting for us not having to pay anymore. So we're asking for more. I just don't still understand the reason for asking for more from the, is the representative up there talking?
I think that there's a misunderstanding, Trustee Fulcher. We are not asking for more. Is that the assumption that you're under, or is that what you're thinking, that we're asking for more dollars?
Right.
We are not. We are not.
For the tax levy, so what is the tax levy? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say it a lot.
Maybe we just had a conversation.
Can
you hear good?
I can hear you.
Okay.
So, if I'm understanding your question correctly, what is happening, Trustee Fuller, is the bond levy is disappearing for the 23 year. So that you don't lose those tax dollars, we are moving those tax dollars into your operating levy, or moving it into your police and fire pension, because the Village of Hope, as in most communities in Illinois, we need to fund the pensions so that we can get to our level. So that's why a majority of what these tax dollars from the bond levy is doing is we are moving them into your police and fire pension levy so that way we can get them appropriately funded.
So that's the reason why you wanted to help the police.
Yep, that's part of the reason, yes.
Okay.
Okay. We have a question from the audience.
Yes, sir. How do you know we're receiving a new tax, a new taxing body? So we added to our tax roll, the new mental health. So how's that going to affect us? Because they're going to have their own board, and I'm sure they're going to do that. So how's that going to affect? Is that going to increase our tax?
It's a separate tax environment.
Yeah. You know, the mental health is, there's a new,
mental health facilities?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
And there's a board.
Yeah,
Well, they're gonna have their own board, so is that gonna affect it? Have you brought that in? It's a part of this as well?
that would be another line item.
That's what I'm saying. That's gonna affect it. That's gonna increase us in the amount. The health.
It will increase the overall, but not increase the village's portion. We just control what we control.
Yeah, I know that part, but I was saying overall, it would be another increase to us, not from the board, but from this other board, it's gonna be another tax about. Right?
Yes.
So we are having an increase.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, so that new taxing body, which the village has no control over, will impact your guys' overall tax, because that is a new taxing body. Was this a new program that was being offered, or?
I'm sorry.
Was that a new program that was being offered?
Yes, sir.
Who was running it prior?
Well,
it's new. So that's gonna have an impact on the people too.
Yes, but that would have had regardless of the fact. That would have an impact on everyone's tax bill regardless of any of the village.
That's why.
I think it would have been, wise to have had our tax assessor here, Mrs. Hurd. And I think that the residents would possibly understand this, because my opinion, from what I'm understanding, whether it's from the board or Will County, there will be an increase.
Well, get ready for the school district to increase.
The village has no control.
So my point is, if our tax assessor, Mrs. Hurd was here, I think it would help us understand this.
Yes, and it doesn't go on until they're gonna, anyway, this is a discussion, giving us a little upfront on what's going on and what's proposed, because Mrs. Hurd does assessments, but she doesn't control what we do here at the village. All we can do is
Right, and I think what it was there, and my question to the public that I was trying to get an understanding is that every year we do have to set the tax levy. The point that I was making was that we were used to voting on a certain number. So what the gentleman is explaining is that with the movement of the bond, that no matter even if the number is higher, the tax rate is still, the way it's still the same. It's not the village, the portion you get from the village is not going to change. That's the whole concept that he's trying to explain. I know it's very difficult. I do agree with Commissioner Greer because, again, and this is for the general public where she made that statement. Again, when Nancy Barfoot came in 2009, she killed us. She said we were underassessed. So she took our homes, and I'm sorry, she jacked us up to the point that many of us lost our homes in 2009 to 2011. So, right, so it was not, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, the village, Mayor Covington was a trustee, Mayor Rudez was a trustee. They went on a explaining campaign to say, it's not us, it's your tax assessor. The next punch that we had got was from the school district. So at no time that the village has ever, and if you look, we have never raised the tax rate. And so the reason why I made it important that I wanted to hear was because it would be the first time that it would go more than 4.99. That's like a stranger to me, because I'm so used to us doing something for so many years as a citizen, as well as all the way up to as a trustee. We were at a certain level, and to be honest, I'll say this: I question, did we have money in the bank? And this is November. We have money in the bank, folks. For the first time since I've been trustee. I'm just saying, every other time we're broke, when you hear what we're talking about, let's do a time hold. We have not done that yet. The village is moving in the right direction. And those who know me, I'm not going to. So it's money in the bank. So we're going in the right direction. I never lied to you, and I'm not going to start lying to you. So the truth is that it's a strange animal to me, but also at the same time, like the mayor said, the EVA of the village has going on. We have all these things, these projects that's coming in. So yes, that's even when we start talking about tip 5. All these things are so important because now is the time that I've been preaching since 2017, really since 2019, that look, when by the time 2021 come, I told you money was about to come in. So we're at that point that we got to make critical decisions. And so here we are in a position that we can make a decision that it won't hurt us. Actually, we're making a move that actually actually benefit us, you know, especially on paper. Right, so if you do, if the tax assessor is always available, I don't think Sandra Bird is gonna, you know, she's been pretty good about it. She has been pretty good. When I need to deal with me, she gave me exemption on my home. So then there are exemptions out there for our seniors. We don't take advantage of University Park. I'm sorry, we just don't.
See, Brooks and everybody, the thing that we really need to pay attention to is make good reassessments in the industrial park. Because we really don't have any way of knowing unless someone slips up and says something, just like the applied system applied for $800,000 deduction. You know, think about what we would have to do to cover that gap. So those are things that are really important when our assessor does not continuously connect us and make us aware when things like this happen in our industrial park. Those things can really be detrimental. So just FYI, everybody know about what really goes on. Any other questions?
Right.
No, trustee, I'm sorry.
I want to piggyback on what Trustee Brooks said, so don't think that your taxes are not gonna go up, they can go up, because it's not gonna be us. It's gonna be whatever the assessor does for other reasons. And the other thing about the industrial park, when they protest the taxes, we should be getting a notice, the library gets a notice, and we fight it, we're not.
That's a good thing.
So, we can fight it.
They always want to put me out, that's it. They're very quick, just like you made a point, I'm sorry. I don't mean to just jump into it, but it's a good point. Like I explained last board meeting, Clorox overpaid, they got overpaid. They were overpaid. This is our money. Clorox did not want to pay back the $750,000. So to show University Park, or call us a counter, whatever word you want to call it, they said, well, give us a project you want in the community and we'll pay for that project because they don't trust us with our money. Now, we overpaid them. We overpaid them. So that's my point when it comes to that the village is trying to pay, in reference to paying attention to what goes on in those tips. Are you my time? I see
Mrs. O'Brien, I would have Mr. Morgan ask the question respectfully, Mrs. Morgan. Go ahead, Mr. O'Brien.
My question is, I just need clarity. We're going from 4.99 to 6.99 or 7.6?
So your overall tax bill is going from 6.9 million to 6.9 million. So the overall tax bill, what the village is putting on their tax is 6,914,683. That is their dollars, but that was the exact same dollars that they taxed in 22. So there is no change in the overall tax bill. So what shows up on your guys' tax bill is 6,914,000, no change.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody else have a question? Mrs. O'Brien, go ahead.
What?
Any other questions? We don't know. And then we're not raising it anyway. So you have to go to the school district and have it put in the school board with 68.5% of the real estate tax and go to the tax advisor and take the majority of our money. Because we do pretty darn well around here to maintain the level. I've been on the board since 2005 to now. We've been at 4.99%. We've done pretty good because the times have changed. Just things are rolling off. That's just a part of what we do.
I think, can I?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I was just, referring to a statement that, Trustee Brooks made. He said, we have money in the bank the first time. I don't go by word of mouth. I need tangible proof. You know,
We're gonna stay with this. Yeah.
We'll say it in how much, and what never said that, not saying that you do that, but I heard that type of language. So, how can we get tangible proof? I like to see the paper. I want paper, I love paper.
Well, I'll say this, Ms. Morgan. Normally right, foyer, you can foyer it, but normally, let's be honest.
You say foyer?
Foyer, yes, foyer.
Who likes the foyer?
The clerk is the one who gives all the orders, not the mayor, not the county, not the board.
She's never even always trying to.
Right, let me finish my statement. This is, and tell me if I'm wrong, or the mayor, I'm trying to think who else, or those who have delivery to the lines. How many times since 2017, they're coming to you here, how many times we have to do a tar loan because the village falls short of money around November, December? We have not done that. We have not done that. So what I'm saying is, Ms. Millie, is that I'm not gonna sit here and know that, you know, the village is broke and I'm pretending. No, if it was broke, I'll be the loudest one. So for you, what I'm saying to the general public is that our financial situation is much better. If I can we can go right off top. What did we do in there? We stopped giving the golf course, well, actually, it was a little bit before that. We stopped giving the golf course $78,000. Do you know how much money that? Come on, that's over. We can give almost $750,000 a year. So we know that's in there. And I'm not even going to begin the money that we have to give. So we're going in the right direction, but for what's in the bank directly, you can worry, but I just ask that we pay attention to that. We're not going on the same path we've been doing in the past by borrowing money. Yeah, we were borrowing money every November, December, and waiting until June, almost like July to pay it back, and we steady going through the same cycle in which we're not in that cycle. So we broke that cycle.
Thanks for the election. And we got some trustees.
All right, next question, then we're gonna move on. Mrs. Thomas.
I have a question piggybacking off what trustee Jewel said. We get P-tabs in the library and our lawyers contest. Why don't we contest some of these things in the municipal park that are how the chlorides happen? Where's the lawyer?
Yeah. When we find out, we do contest. But unfortunately, the assessor doesn't notify the village. That's how we find out. He does not notify the village.
Not from the assessor, I don't understand.
Yes,
P-tab should come to the.
No. They might be reassessing, it goes to the assessor's office. It doesn't come to the village. Go ahead, Mr. Jones, then we're gonna move forward.
Okay, so I don't have a question. I would just like to speak on the fact that the public did bring up that there will be another tax body on our taxes. And I can speak on that because I am the president of this board, and we got approved for a $10 million levy. So yes, you can see, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a draft. Most of that money will be coming from the school district on our taxes, but ours is just a smidgen, 10 million from us.
Thank you. Any other questions of the board? Thank you so much, sir. Board, I'm gonna ask to do something real quick. I'm gonna ask to move item 51D up, right in front of Gaylord 51D. Is that all right? Let's Mr. Parker, the comment, move up. We don't want our ladies out there by themselves at nighttime too late, so. That's okay with everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Come on, Mr. Parker.
All right. Thank you, Mayor and trustees. I am always delighted to be here. Take great pride in servicing the South Plan, and I'm just happy to be here tonight. So I was asked to be here to answer any questions that there may be as it relates to some of the programs that we offer for street light incentives. So a couple of things that I can tell you. Right now, there is an incentive that we have, that will provide, energy efficiency dollars towards the reduction of energy for any street lights, traffic signals, interior municipal lights, parking lot lights, basically anything from the government entity's perspective, we do have incentives for that. I also know that there are 2 applications that are pending with ComEd right now, totaling about $90,000 in incentives that we've had to consistently kind of make the request to roll over, but it will sunset December 15th. That opportunity for those incentives will go away December 15th.
Our incentives, basically.
Yeah, so what I don't know, typically every year we offer some kind of incentives, rather it be for the municipal partners, rather it be for our commercial and industrial partners, we even offer incentives for us as homeowners. So there's a broad variety of programs that ComEd offers routinely, and I'm proud to say that I've taken advantage of a few of them, and I would encourage you all to definitely take advantage of the free home energy assessment that we offer. What I don't know for certain is how much those incentives will be going into 2024. I feel relatively certain that we'll have some, but I don't know if it will mirror what we have for this year. So that's what I can tell you about the financial incentives that we have on our streetlight program and overall. Are there any questions for me? And thank you so much for moving me around. I kind of had this stacked on top of a few other things and still got one more meeting.
I appreciate you stepping up more there, because I know my concern is ensuring that we have quality lights in our community, and Mr. Down has made a presentation, there was some confusion. So I thought it would be a good idea, some of the board members wanted to have a representative such as yourself here. So that's why I asked you here regarding PDC light distribution.
Yeah, there are 2 applications pending. The total incentives for those 2 applications equals just about $90,000. So that's how much ComEd will kick in. We'd like to try to incentivize LED, we're trying to save our ecology, and you know, the more that we can reduce the stress on the grid, the better that our atmosphere. The quality of life is a bit more resilient, and they're supposed to last longer. I'll tell you, as with anything else, there are limits here and there. We've all bought a limit and called it a car. Some of our, I've noticed that there have been some light bulbs, because I'm thinking I shouldn't get called on the street light hours until after I retire, because they're supposed to last about 20 years. There has been one-offs where we did have some inoperable LEDs that ended up having to be replaced, but it's pale in comparison to the amount of cost that we used to get for the mercury and the sodium ones. So they do have a better quality of light, they do have a longer longevity, and they do consume less energy, which will reduce your life. Any other questions about ComEd or street lights or anything like that?
Mr. Brooks?
For University Park, now, I guess someone was telling me, most of the lights that you all would be wood lights in our town? Is that
So, I'm so glad you asked that question. Let me clarify that. Wooden lights are ComEd owned. For the most part, there's always one-offs with every situation. But by and large, all of the wooden poles are owned by ComEd, and ComEd undertook a program where we went out to every town and converted our wooden poles over. Any of the metal poles are the ones that are typically municipal. Some of them could be owned by IDOT, some may be owned by the county, depending on what road they're on. But anything that's not county or IDOT owned, and it is a metal pole, it is a municipal owned street light, and you all would have to bear the responsibility of converting those lights.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mr. James?
So we're gonna leave the lights that are down, trying to come forward, would be the metal light, the metal pole.
We want to finish, yes. He wouldn't be touching ComEd stuff, it would be,
No,
he'd be touching all the ones that we own.
right. Yeah, ComEd owns the wooden poles, fixtures, arms, brackets, all of it. The municipalities own all the metal poles.
And most of them are fed underground, whereas ComEd waters are typically overhead. That's another way to delineate between ComEd.
And do you know how many really phones, metal phones we have?
Metal poles, Mr. Downs, I think, you know how many metal poles that we have?
Let me see, I don't know if I brought it.
Yeah, this one. Go back.
And if he doesn't, when I get back to the office, I have 35 municipalities. So unfortunately, I don't have everything committed to memory. I don't have everything committed to memory. So if Mr. Downs can't find it, Liz, if you could follow up with me, I can send you all a report of all your municipal homes.
I can tell you that you have 380 poles in the village. I don't know how many wood, comparison versus wood poles, but we would be changing 380 poles, or fixtures, I should say.
Fixtures, yeah, the backs, right?
The actual fixture head. We're not changing the poles, just the fixture head. On the municipal, yes.
So yeah, I can put it.
Mrs. Covington?
Yes, question. Okay, so with that said, now we submitted this, our proposal to ComEd.
Yes, the proposal, the application was submitted in July, and, our lead person who I reached out to, is consistent with saying that they keep reaching out to the and now, waiting to get an answer, and his answer keeps being, he's got to wait for the answer.
Okay, so how much, because I heard it's supposed to be denied twice in the village, but I want to know if it comes again, how much will ComEd get towards the total? And what's your total, sorry, sir, how much will the total?
269 and
269,000?
roughly 269,000, and ComEd's incentive is roughly 92,000.
She asked approximately how much would ComEd be providing in incentives, and I said approximately.
Is that going to be, is that a promise or is that committed? We for sure will get that? Okay, now we just said so.
Well, with the caveat being, the deadline is December 15th. If we don't commit for the 2023 offering, there may or may not be offerings in 2024. There may be, but I don't know.
So the bottom line is only $2,900 to be for the village to have to pay. That's all our correct, sir.
Sorry.
The total cost will be $26,900.
26,000, no.
That's what I'm asking the question. How much is
and that leaves the village 177.
Okay, that's what you want, and we got money for that, or we got the money for that, let me understand.
Am I?
No, I mean, the village.
The village.
That's what the village is trying to get money. Mayor, what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So, Mary next.
I'm sorry.
Correct.
The question was, are we financing the West 77,000 and what rate?
I think it was at 5%.
Last time.
She said 5.9, said 6.9, say 5.
Okay, we need for sure. Ms. Parker, thank you. I just sit down. I just want to make a comment.
Okay, and if there aren't any other questions, are you going to leave my guy?
Adios.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In reference to this finance company, was it the village of Mr. Downs that did?
We can pick.
He didn't pick it. Okay, so it was a little homework on it. And I maybe want to double check. Is that the same company that's financed Tiffany Henry's truck?
What you asking me?
Was that the same company?
I don't know, who's above, this is the truck.
So, you
It
know,
sure was, sure is, I watched
if you don't know, you know that. She bought $150,000 SUV. And whatever it was, that's even worse, because it was government money. And when you zoom the paper in, it looked just like the financial papers that were sitting out one back in my iPad. So,
Is it?
so I think we need to have, well, this came before the board already. Twice. Right. I know we voted on it, but I think the conversation is, you know, look, hey, sometimes when you ask a detective, or the detective asks you a question, you know the answer already. And I asked that guy. The only thing I felt kind of funny about was when he handed us the paperwork, or when I read the paperwork, it said 6.99 all the way down. Or am I saying it's still wrong?
It said 5.9, but he just verbally said 6.9. When you pointed that out, I said, okay, take whichever you want.
He sure did.
Yeah. Who said that? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
The guy, the loan guy.
Yeah.
So when WGN did this story last week, take a look. The paperwork, and it's all over the internet. Whoever the lady is, she zoomed right on in. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Man, for a vehicle that's $100,000, I don't know what she think. And that's not our fight, because we ain't fighting like that. We get along, kumbaya. But she just gave up $50,000 in APR. Right. Yes.
If we decide to use this project, we don't have to go with that issue. We can go with our own things.
Well, we can't, well, hey, look, I'm just saying, I ain't been wrong yet. And the guy came right in and said, I heard you, Karen. I ain't right.
That was me. That was my.
I do think I'm right at home. So I didn't hear it. So I think if we gonna do it, I don't think it should be that guy. That guy already, he is, that's controversy. So who didn't see the story? I just want to make sure my friends. And trustees, we did see when we zoomed in, that was the exact application he sent us.
Oh no.
So I'm just saying, I know what I see, I know my time.
All right. We're going on to the next item. Mr. Daniel, thank you guys for being so much patient with us. You guys are up.
Yeah, you guys all have the packets and give your copies.
No, that's not it, that's not it. Oh, you have it?
You know what? Good evening, board. While we're passing this out, I'm going to introduce the team. We got our director.
Yes, I am.
Good evening, board. Rob Dayward, Dayward Insurance Agency. We've got our team here. Questions can arise that each run different divisions. Mike Welch runs our public entity division. Christina Sepalucci runs our G-Force Health and Recovery division. Otis Gilmore runs our group benefits division. I run our property casualty division. And Dr. Freeman will be talking about the tool that's exclusive to Dayward Insurance Agency in a little bit. But first and foremost, I kind of want to get to the point with Dayward Insurance Agency. We do property and casualty, group benefits, insurance for public entities. We do for all businesses, but public entities. A division we've developed, brought the right team forward.
right markets, right partner and carrier, and finally foremost, the correct tool that you need to bring cost savings, especially on the healthcare side. We have a tool called G-Force Health and Recovery. We also compete on the property casualty, which is the work comp, general liability, auto, and we also do group benefits. Our tool actually works on both the workers' compensation and the group benefits. And as you know, and all public state of Illinois know, group benefits and work comp typically don't go down. They typically go up. Healthcare is on the rise, work comp costs on the rise. Group benefits, insurance premiums are constantly going up, and I think you recently had group benefits renewal and had a substantial increase in premium. What I'm here to kind of bring is a way to discount and offer our tool to bring cost savings not only to the village, but to your employees and the employee family members. Now, G-Force Health and Recovery is just that, it's a cost savings tool. It's in addition to Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's in addition to whatever work comp carrier we bring in to negotiate pricing. What this does is Dr. Pierce will get into this, but I'll just kind of briefly explain it. It shops healthcare, and the cost savings goes to the employee. A percentage goes to the employee and goes back to the village. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a quick scenario. So if you guys contract with Gaylord Insurance on the work comp, property casualty insurance, group benefits, we give you this G-Force Health and Recovery tool for free. We're the only broker in the state of Illinois who has access to this tool. So as you guys know, when you get your group benefits renewal, people come in and they offer a group benefit. Say they shopped it out at United Healthcare, at Humana, we've done this, that, but we know in unions and public entities, typically you have to stay with Blue Cross Blue Shield. That's what everyone wants. So you're kind of stuck with that increase. What we offer is a tool to bring cost savings. And in group benefits, we can become the broker anytime. Even if you just renewed your plan, it's a month-to-month contract, we can become broker now, work on the cost savings in the plan next year. But right now, since you absorbed a large increase on your group benefits premium, we could bring this tool in now to start offsetting costs that you got the village is eating by bringing G-Force Health and Recovery. Again, no other broker in the state of Illinois can offer this tool to any public entity, both for the workers' compensation and for the group benefits. Just a quick scenario how a cost savings could work and how easy it is to use. We have a tab on our website called G-Force Health and Recovery. So whether it's a work comp injury or a group benefits injury, you guys would just simply go to our G-Force Health and Recovery tab. Your employees, after we educate them, you would go to the tab, your injured employee, click on it, tell them what injury you have. It goes through our personal concierge. A cost savings is then provided to the employee, which they choose, and they get to share in that cost reimbursement. Dr. Primus will get a little bit further in detail, but just a high-level overview of it is that by using our tool, you get to kind of keep the same doctors. It just shops facilities, and the village and the employee will receive a cost savings, which could be very substantial, especially across the whole village. So say it's a $10,000 savings for a back surgery, the employee will get $2,500, and the village will get a reimbursement of $2,500. Nothing changes on your group benefit plan. You don't lose any coverages. Your plan stays the exact same. We're just administering your plan and giving you access to the G-Force Health and Recovery tool for free. It's really a win-win option for the village and its employees. There's really nothing but cost savings, and it's a proactive approach. A lot of brokers take reactive approaches by getting the renewal in and saying, all right, this is Blue Cross Blue Shields or the work comps, 13% increase, 20% increase, this is all we can do. Blue Cross is Blue Cross. They're the, only game out there because you have unions and you can't go to United Healthcare or Aetna, Humana. this is an option, this is a problem solver. It's kind of a game changer in the insurance industry. We just need to educate your employees on it. And by becoming your broker, on the group benefits and work comp, we can now educate your employees how to use the tool. And we'll have a link that gets sent out so they can share with their family members as well, because it not only extends to the employees, it extends to their family members. So it's a cost savings tool, and well, first of all, this is question and answer, guys. So if you have any questions while we're up here, because it's a new concept to brokers, we're the only broker that send it out. It's currently being used across the nation. It just has not been broker driven, and I think that's how we got the exclusive with it. It needs to be sold to brokers because we go out and we educate employees on benefits. We educate them on safety on work comp. Now we can bring this tool to the employees and bring in additional cost savings where otherwise the village, public entities, are handcuffed with Blue Cross Blue Shield's constant increases. Anyone have any questions so far?
Okay, so is this policy where you can go anywhere, is that what you're telling us?
Yes, so nothing changes, you keep your current Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. I am going to introduce Dr. Primus on the tool here shortly, so you can get into the actual specifics of it, but yes, So guys, this is Dr. Primus. He's the doctor, so I will defer to him on the technical questions. Dr. Primus is from Chicago Sports Orthopedics, and he'll speak a little bit more about the tool.
Okay, hello everyone. So I represent the technology, if you will, Health Engine. The name of it's called Health Engine. And it's a proprietary technology in the healthcare field that we are selectively allowing certain brokerage firms. And here in Illinois, Gaylord, we chose Gaylord, they chose us. The timing is such that recently, last year, 2022, we got a positive OIG favorable opinion in terms of how this process works. Doesn't healthcare, how money is redistributed is probably the most heavily regulated in all industry. So in any event, this is a technology that allows cost savings that can be redistributed to the patient, to the employer, and also back to the insurance company themselves. So it's agnostic to any insurance plan. So it's not a policy, it's not a network. Basically what it is, it's a transparency model, and it uses the marketplace to compete facilities against each other to reduce costs. And so it serves as a concierge. We have an employee that needs an MRI. Let's take MRI as an example. All right, there's such a variability of cost in getting the same MRI study at the same facility based on plan and who happens to walk through the door. Right, so you can get an MRI for as cheap as $250 or pay $2,000 for the exact same study. So what this technology does is it has the information, right? It has the transparency part of understanding who's charging what and where and why. They use that data to then compete different facilities for the business. And that's how they're able to drive costs, just like any other industry, just haven't been done in healthcare. So that's kind of a very elementary explanation of how the process works. Any questions?
So, my colleague, who want I guess how can we ask this question? Are you guys like a supplemental insurance to?
So we're not in insurance at all.
Not insurance.
It's not
supplemental, like broker or like
No, so right. So if you are a patient and you use your insurance and for a procedure at a hospital that you can't pay, you negotiate with that hospital discount, whether it's because of financial hardship or maybe if you pay everything at once, then they give you a discount. There's negotiations that's taking place.
Right.
What this entity does is negotiate on behalf of the patient to achieve a real cost savings from the facility. So just to back up and give context of how healthcare expenses work, about 90% of all the costs in healthcare are tied in facilities, the brick and mortar. There's no association between the care and that cost, all right? Facility fees, hospital fees, just simply walking into an ER, you're gonna pay an enormous amount of money and no one can explain why. Where's that cost coming from? What is that attributed to? What's the value? About 7 to 8, 9% are actually physician costs. So the bulk of healthcare spend is in brick and mortar facilities that nobody can explain. So there's ample opportunities to reduce that cost. So what this entity does is it goes to the facility. It says, look, if you charge 100, will you take 60? Okay. If you take 60, then we're going to reclaim that 40 as the negotiated overage, okay, and redistribute that $40 back to the patient, employee, and back to the plan. So it's an agreement between the patient and the facility where the bulk of the money is actually being spent.
So you call brokers for the employee.
Let me say that. Say you did MRI.
Just had.
Me too. So
We can say a lot more.
So the company's gonna look around and they're gonna say, if you get an MRI here,
Give them my.
$10. If you get an MRI here, it's gonna be $20. Whatever arrangement they come to. And then they're also gonna negotiate with money back for the employer. I think it's the same.
Yes.
Money back for the employer and also the patient. But how, so they're the ones to see, like the process.
But I mean, it's okay, so the person has an HMO, their time. If we provide, how is that gonna work with them when you can't go out of the network? You gotta stay within this network, you gotta know who your plan allows you to go to, then what?
It doesn't work for what I call managed cost plans, but here's what's so ironic about that. The managed cost plans actually cost the most because it's driving the most expensive care to hospitals. So this is a plan for people who have choice, because with choice you can compete in the marketplace, right? So it's commercial plans, work comp, but as we evolve, we will want to try to engage HMOs and manage affordable care organizations because we can actually save them a lot of money. They're driving the most expensive care to the most expensive places.
But your HMOs are more affordable than your PPOs. Your PPOs allow you to go to any provider, whereas your HMO, you gotta stay with that network. So usually, those plans are those plans are more affordable.
Your premium for an HMO plan is more affordable, but that's getting us into a whole nother conversation about healthcare costs. And I would love to be invited back in terms of, what that means to the average citizen. But
I was over the producer marketing area for Blue Cross. I am the brokers, the producers, the agents, they all include me. So I have a wealth of information when it comes to healthcare. So I don't completely understand everything that you're trying to say or do, because I know a lot of my members, from my local have an HMO.
right, this is
one of fair.
again, this is a tool that's for people who have choice. Because with choice, like anything, like any and everything you do in commerce involves you having the ability to assess value, right? How do you do that? The clothes you're wearing, the car you drive. You can shop. You can determine what's important for you, what's valuable to you. If you want name brand, if you don't, you have that opportunity. Everything we do, the only aspect of our life we don't is healthcare. We get a bill, which is a surprise bill, and we then go broke. The number one reason for personal bankruptcy in this country is healthcare related expenses. We talked about bringing it back around what you guys were debating about earlier, people losing their home. But the number one reason someone loses their home in this country is a lawsuit over a hospital charge. Okay? There's nothing more expensive that we've experienced in the last 20 years than healthcare costs. Not only healthcare costs, but hospital charges. So hospital charges have rose 250% in the last 2 years. There's nothing that even compares to. So this is one tool that we have to fight that. And how do we fight it? Not through HMOs. It's through the individual having the power, having the choice to compete in the marketplace. Only through competitive markets can you truly reduce costs. And that's what this tool does.
I have one similar to how to get that.
So again, I'm a physician that utilizes this tool, but the proprietary company that drives the technology, they get 30% of the cost savings as cost savings are realized. So they don't get paid a cent unless the patient gets paid first. If it's organized through an entity like the Village of University Park, it's organized through an entity, then you guys share in that cost savings. So you will receive cost savings, your employee will receive cost savings, and part of that cost savings goes to the technology.
And guys, if you pull out of your package, there's a sheet here. In the bottom left corner, there's a breakout of where the funds go to, just so you can see how you don't get charged. Because the actual savings, 30% is taken from the total cost of Gaylord Insurance. We make money on the workers' compensation, the group benefits, so we don't charge for it either.
Just to put this in one last context, so the Affordable Care Act mandated that when it was passed through the Obama administration, that physicians and hospitals become more transparent, right? It was finally passed under the Trump administration. It mandated that because they saw this problem, this burden in our society, right? And they thought that by making costs transparent, that it would somehow reduce costs. You think it would reduce costs? No. So just having, first of all, most people don't understand health insurance. They don't understand co-pay, deductibles, out-of-pocket, max, all these terms and all these things. You get a medical bill. You need a special degree to interpret your medical bill, right? So there's companies that popped up that are transparency tools. And they market to entities, they market to villages, they market to municipalities, they market to Fortune 500 companies to bring transparency to their employees. And they charge a lot of money for this transparency, but it hasn't shown to truly reduce costs. Why? When someone gets hurt, they're not thinking about, oh, I'm gonna look and see about what I heard 2 months ago. And they do what they're told. Their doctor says, go get an MRI down the hall, because I own it. I'm going down the hall. Or you need surgery, or you go to the hospital, or you go to the surgery center that I own, right? So we're not thinking as consumers. We just follow what we're being told. Well, this is one of the only, it's the only entity, it's the only platform, if you will, or tool that not only uses the transparency, okay, to create the marketplace, but in doing so, it creates a competitive marketplace to truly reduce costs on behalf of the patient. So this entity is truly working on behalf of the patient, the employee, and the employer, if done through the employer. This doesn't have to be done through the employer, but when it's done in an organized fashion like this, then you truly can receive cost savings separately.
One other places, municipalities, companies, where
Simple individuals, doctor's offices, hospitals. Again, it's ubiquitous. It's a force that's.
Okay, so well, let me rephrase my question. Gator itself, like where are you?
Yes, sir, sorry.
Right.
So your question was what other public entities are using it, what other?
Yes.
So right now, it's currently in local 399, it's in the City of Chicago Fire Department. But we have it in the Village of Burnham, we have it at Daly's Ambulance. We're putting it in several other public entities. We have it in a lot of private sector companies. Again, we rolled this tool out this year. It's been around for quite some time. It's really a game changer in the insurance side of things, because what we plan to do is have a proactive approach for once for an insurance agency. We like to gather this money in when we're educating your employees, and this money's coming to the village. We'd like to have that pooled into a trust, a fund that the village has. You guys can do whatever you want with the money, but our suggestion would, guys, pool this money that you otherwise would not have. And now let's go raise your deductibles a little bit, or put it towards an HRA for the health insurance side. A lot of it still goes back to employees, but it's just an additional cost savings that you wouldn't have otherwise by going your traditional route. We as brokers, we still go out and shop the plan and work on. We're contracted with every work comp carrier in the state that you can get. We're contracted with every carrier, whether it be Liberty Mutual, Travelers, Hartford, Illinois Public Risk Fund, Illinois County's Risk Management Trust, and the work comp. We're contracted with everything. We do our due diligence there as well. But this is
workers' comp. I keep getting workers' comp, so you both workers' comp employees, right?
Both.
So the reason why work comp is because work comp in Illinois, it's a free, the patient has free choice. So again, in order to create the marketplace, you have to have choice. So I have to have the ability as a consumer to pick 3 facilities. And that's what gives the power. Because what's never existed in healthcare before, facilities negotiate with insurance plans with the assumption that you're going to always go there. So they're going to have your business no matter what. But now, to say, look, you negotiate this price or it's 0, because I'm going to option B, or I'm going to option C, and you get 0. So that's what makes this tool so powerful, is that either you compete or you lose, and the patient and the entity wins. So you have to have choice. So work comp and commercial plans, right? Those are the plans. So commercial, any PPO plan where you have the choice to go wherever you want to go to get you medical service.
Ms. Scott, question. Most of our employees are, if I'm not mistaken, or
The majority, I'd say about 97% of our employees actually use the PPO because of the inexpensive. So I think we have less than 5 employees with it.
Yeah, and guys, the board, you cannot stare healthcare in Illinois, so this is a choice for the employees. We don't make you use this tool. We educate your employees on using it, and quite honestly, once they're educated, why wouldn't they use it, as it's a cost savings tool? They're going to receive money back in their pocket. The village is going to receive money back in their fund. It's kind of a win-win. There's not really a downside.
So, right, it's still like a supplement. It's like what I said. It's not a supplement. It's not a word. If you, because I've seen it before, where employer offer a program, because you all, it's not the same as if you eat healthy and so forth, you're not part of that.
That's a wellness program, we offer those as well, that's just, it's another tool we can offer. We can offer wellness on the group plan, that's just an additional tool we have. This is a tool that is not.
Negotiating,
This is, yeah.
If it comes to the employee wanting to see a specialist or receive some treatment, you all would be that advocate for that employee to have the cheapest. Am I hearing that
Yes,
correct?
yes, that's a perfect understanding. Because again, where the real cost happens is imaging and procedures. Right. It's not going to the doctor's office for regular visits and exams. That's not what brings people, or for entities, especially again on the work outside, what causes that increased healthcare spend? It's surgeries, unnecessary care, big procedures, big expensive procedures where these hospital facilities charges are enormous, right? So this gives us the ability to reduce that huge hit and return. Think of it as a redistribution, if you will, robbing them to pay them. So that's how we're looking at it.
I have a separate fee for this,
No, again, it's outside of your insurance plan. It's not part of your insurance plan at all. Here's another benefit. So all cost saving or cheaper routes to pay for your healthcare services, you normally, this is just you paying, so after is a supplemental. It's just, you're paying another insurance. That's all, right? You're just paying another insurance to supplement your insurance. So normally with the commercial plan, you have to deduct savings. But you pay a deductible. Right. If you go to an MRI facility that's cash and say, look, I'll give you a discount, paying out of pocket $300 for MRI, that never touches your deductible because you're paying that discount outside of your insurance. Or if you go out of network for a surgery, at a surgery center, they'll say, well, the deductible is $5,000. But if you pay this outside of your insurance, we'll cut you a deal and you'll owe $2,500 or $2,000. These are the deals that's taking place all the time, right? Well, that $3,000 that you pay never touches your deductible. So you're still on the hook for your deductible. If you get sick, you end up in the hospital, now you have this $5,000 deductible, even though you paid $3,000 for a procedure earlier in the year. These are the scenarios that are causing bankruptcy for our citizens, right? What this program does is the only cost savings tool that requires everything to go through your normal insurance plan as it normally would. So you pay your deductible, right? Everybody has to get adjudicated. The facility has to get paid by your insurance. If you have a $2,000 deductible, guess what? You have to pay into that deductible. Once all of that gets adjudicated, then this technology health engine comes up, reclaims the overpayment, because in order for that facility to have received your business, they would have already pre-negotiated and agreed on a separate rate. You follow? So health engine then reclaims that overpayment and pays you back that cost savings.
And then you get some of that.
And then we get paid 30% of the savings, of the cost savings. The patient, again, depending on how it's being structured, the patient may receive 25% in an entity, and it's a group savings. Because if the entity is receiving 25% of the savings, then they're going to make the policies much more favorable for their employees. There is no cost. All of the costs, there's no cost at all for the employee or the entity. Again, the only money exchange is the exchange from the facility paying the employee, and the health engine G-Force is actually just brokering that deal. And again, the only way it works is through transparency and competition. Because most facilities are sitting at 50 to 60% capacity, right? ORs are open, MRI slots aren't being used. Their staff is on Indeed looking for another job on Facebook or social media. And they're like, look, I'd rather shoot another MRI slot even at a discount and have volume than be sitting empty. Hotel.com, right? For a hospital, their overhead is relatively stable. They have to have their lights on, they have to have their staff. So the 90% of their cost of doing the procedure is already tied to their overhead. So it makes sense for them to actually negotiate a deal that's going to bring volume. They're still going to make a profit because they're still sitting on all that overhead anyway. And so that's what health engine is able to do, having that understanding of how this really works, to negotiate these type of cost savings.
So are you doing this negotiating environment? With all this negotiating, would the patient end up getting a subpar care?
No, because these are places that the patient, so we're only negotiating at facilities that the patient either is already going to, or you're going to. So you'll have an opportunity to look at certain facilities and make that decision. We're never going to compromise quality. But for instance, I do a lot of advocacy. So advocate healthcare is one of the 5th largest healthcare systems in the country. Right? Well, there's some agreement in this. Because it all comes down to the physician that's here. And whether it's advocates or any academic hospital or any hospital for that matter, it can do that, especially for us.
So guys, I have a real life example of it. My son used the tool through our company, Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. Maybe this will help better how easy it works. So my kid was at Ohio University. He ended up hurting his hand, came home to get a hand surgery. And we went through their G-Force cover tool, which is the tool, and they gave us a couple options. At the time we were in Orland Park, there was an outpatient facility 5 minutes from our home, and there was another facility that was 50 minutes from home. We chose not the huge cost savings, which was 50 minutes from home. We chose the 5-minute one. But we went through Blue Cross Blue Shield, paid our deductible for the hand surgery. Once they received that deductible being completely paid, we received a $1,200 check back in the mail for my kid's hand surgery being done. So otherwise, we would have just been out the deductible on the deductible, and that's it. So that's how easy it is to be used, and we facilitate that as Taylor Insurance Agency, both on workers' compensation and the group benefits. And it's a link on our portal. You get your own personal concierge who works with your employees and gets to take question after question. They can either talk on the phone, talk through email, and your employee gets to choose whether they want to participate in the cost savings or not. So maybe it works for 70% of your staff, maybe it doesn't work for the other 30. The village and its employees are still receiving a cost savings.
So it will be a program where that will be available to the employees. It wouldn't be a program that the board would have to vote on. It would be somewhat similar to how we just did Shield. So it's a program being offered to the employees for cost saving on their health insurance. That's what I'm getting through.
So
Not health insurance.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Right, so, yeah, say for instance, police officer enrolls in your program, and he wants to have that knee surgery, he would call you, and you all would help him find the best facility and so forth, and that officer will receive a savings as well as really if you went across the board.
Absolutely. So, yep, we facilitate that program. His current benefits don't change. We just become the broker of record on the Blue Cross Blue Shield deal, and we just facilitate that cost savings between the officer and the facility wants to get the operation done.
Got it. All right.
Any more questions? Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Guys,
much.
take your time.
All right.
I have a question. We have a question. Question.
That'll be the last one.
Sir, no, it's not to the board. Last time I was here, we were negotiating with another insurance. How many insurance companies we have? I'm just trying to understand.
It's not insurance.
It's not insurance. We're not. I'm just.
No, so this is insurance. Yeah.
It's not the type of insurance that we were talking to, as far as the healthcare.
Okay, Mayor, is that gonna affect us as far as the Mayor, is this gonna affect any costs of our employees?
No.
They don't have to pay anything. It's just an engine, a technical engine, just to. This one is something.
It is a program. It's a program. If they're not coming as brokers to replace or any other sort of our liability and health insurance. They're a program where we can offer it to the employees and say the employee, which most of them are 97% PPO.
It's a few more months check, but it's still very
Right. Right, and those employees, if they feel that they have to proceed, that those employees will call Gaylord Insurance Agency, which will help them when it comes to locating a place that will be cheaper to get those things done.
Okay.
And am I saying it correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we would also become the broker on the Blue Cross Blue Shield plan.
Okay. They would be the broker. Right. Blue Cross Blue Shield. No, it will make you cheaper.
All right. Good.
I'm good.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda, item 513. I just want to get the board's opinion on multi-purpose facility. So there's some things I want to just look at. I just want to see what the input is from the residents and from our board. As far as the gymnasium or new village hall multi-purpose facility.
Well, we open dialogue.
Yeah, open dialogue.
Okay.
I've been talking.
Okay. Well,
So let me just say this together. So you know that parcel we have right across the street from the fire department, right from the old one. That's what they do some ideas. I think that would be a great place for a new village hall slash multi-purpose facility on that parcel that's already on everything all in there.
yeah, Mayor, I don't disagree with that dialogue, because I think that we need to take, the reason why I say The village, actually, in the old village hall, pretty much looked at the map. I don't know if it's still there, but there was a map of the hall. And it was an aerial shot of this area. It's pretty much looks the same. Village hall, I think we need the old village hall. I think we need to have conversations because if I'm not mistaken, was there not mold or something in there where the staff is at?
I think that's all been abated, if I'm not mistaken, before this time got here.
Okay.
The moment is, that's all that's.
Yeah, and I think it is that one thing.
Quiet down, please. Thank you.
One thing that I think that has been discussed, and I think it is time for us to, especially when it comes to a meeting area, because we got to get away from these tables. You know, we'll sit at tables, with the marquee behind our head. I think it is time for a, you know, and I've seen it where most facilities, well, my own place, the Hills, Country Hills, that place when it was built, it also has a disaster area or disaster center, like you.
Oh, you're talking about the show.
Correct.
Yeah.
The windows come, if there's a tornado, if there's a disaster, you know, I think it is time for us to move up into the 21st century. The question will come in is that where will we start? Then I think.
Well, you know, right now, I'm gonna do some research, and I think the grant there's an OSLE, or there's a grant coming out right now that actually fund the multi-purpose.
Well,
and then this is just a conversation because at this blueprint here, yes, some things we can look at, some things that we can say yes, because I think if I'm not mistaken, yes, we can room for basketball courts, indoor track, a variety of different things. So we can either upscale or downscale. I have the highest scale, but we can just pick it down. I don't know if it's calling for 3 community rooms where the residents can have access to. Village hall connect right to the other facilities. They'll have a nice, like I said, a village hall, working quarters for our employees, a nice outside property in the back, makes it go out with the track, it's attractive. It's all. Oh, absolutely. I think it's eight basketball courts or something like that. But also it's a revenue generator because we're the only ones in this area that have one. It's sick. It's sick when you continue to pay all these taxes to the school district.
I would like to see a basketball facility.
I heard you could do too.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, all right. I will pay for it. Somebody had started up to have this whole plan coming up.
Yes.
I don't know what about that.
That was a no cost. That was about 2 years ago.
We say no cost, okay.
It was a no cost.
I asked folks the cost was running and stuff, and then this was beautiful. But how we pay for it, that was my second question. And then I just think, like, then, but it's gonna take a lot of conversation. Because, no, we just put a rule. It was $1 billion.
You said a lot of
And it took us a long time.
Yeah, but it's time to finish the conversation.
Yeah,
It always helps. Just to start the initial conversation, the good thing is that we won't have to do any land acquisition. I think we can just save this place in town. Come in and offer today, police and fire, like, single buildings right there, easy access. The high school we made.
Well, number one, let's make sure all the other buildings are taken care of. That's number one. First. Second, I get it, I understand And Village Hall should be the most important facility. Because like I said, it's time for us to come out and store for another business come in. Really, this whole town center, we're gonna rent it, we're gonna rent it. But I know that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying, if we're gonna do something, I think we should do, we need to really have initiate where money comes from, how much we pay, and understand too, with this project, look what we did with the golf course. The golf course, we have to stay on course with these plans, and we have to find out how long it will take something like this. I'm not talking about doing something that within 4 years, you can sit here and say, look what I've done with that. That's bull. We ain't gonna do that. We're gonna do it right.
That's the only way to do it.
Okay, so I'm just saying, when we had the golf course, look how it's been poorly mismanaged and planned. Poorly mismanaged and planned. So we're gonna have a multi-purpose center. Village Hall, yeah, fine, but after that, let's start talking about who manages the courts, how manpower.
Yeah,
that's the whole staff. Because at one point, we were doing well with Park and Rec. At one point.
Well, on the surface, we were.
On the surface, yeah. But there's no way that this village, the way people operate, just totally screw it up.
And we need to work on, we were on.
Right. Because really, that's where I'm going with this. Is that we had River Farm, we had kids, we had cows, we had horses, we had everything going. And so my point is that as we sit here and we're ready to plan something out, I just think that we need to fix
what we have before we move forward.
Exactly, because everybody, even if you build that, I'm gonna tell you nothing, you build a Village Hall and Blackhawk still looking the way it's looking. That's not gonna look good. Yes.
So, man, we got, so we go down Blackhawk, we got to do like this.
That's on the
Go
plan.
You go on Raleigh Road. You go down Raleigh Road, and you feel like you're going down the creek. You go down Raleigh Drive and look at Sixth Gate, and it looks like my daughter got an A about urban light activity. Abandoned buildings, we got the old cable studio that is torn down. We got a lot of stuff. The cable.
You said it's the wrong.
Don't you think it's torn down?
I just want to make sure I heard you right. It's part of the everything. And so it's like.
So my point is, the swimming pool. So we still have so many things to do. I love this. I love to do it. I want to know how to, I can't get my money.
But in the meantime, I'm 100% agree on getting this thing done. I'm a strong advocate on getting Burner Drive and Blackhawk done. If I'm not mistaken, that was our to come in spring of 24. So it's one day at a time. It's been years and years before we got any streets done. So we ought to have over the 5-year road program, and we'll know what streets we'll get the temperature. We know for a fact that Burns getting done spring of 24. We know that Blackhawk is getting done. We know that the other streets, and then we can just prioritize. Just say we're going to walk the other situations.
If we had our committees running like they should, especially like planning and all those commissions, then you could have a plan that's a little bit more expensive than this. But we can have a real plan of how we can get it done.
Okay, so I guess the overall thing is just to put it out here to see if everybody is on the same page. It's obvious to all of us that there's some things that need to be done first. But we all agree that this is a good location, and it's a good concept. So I guess what I'm hearing is that we need to just take care of what we have as in disrepair now, before we move on to something.
They don't want a rich drink.
No, I don't say a drink.
I'm just saying, because at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, set the drink.
The taxpayers feeling that we celebrate the wish dream when we say, just like we sat on that last town hall meeting, and that was beautiful. But they know good and know well, we don't have that money to do something like that right now. Now, it's plausible what we were almost gonna do with Mark Good, when he offered land for a sports arena. But stuff like that takes so much time. You wouldn't think probably won't be here when that is probably good. I'm just saying, because it takes time for stuff like that.
It's a process.
Right, it's a process. So that is on paper. If we build it, first of all, that's a lot of building and a lot of conversation and planning. So I don't think the residents, at least if they know that that's on our mind, yes. But I think many of them want to say what Trustee Thompson was saying. What about everything else we have to take care of?
Makes sense.
Absolutely, trust. Trust.
I do agree that we need facility, the location is probably, I agree with all the rest of the trustees and board. The main thing that you said there is some type of plan that's needed, a strategic plan. Because although other facilities and roads need to be worked on, some of these things can be also worked on at the same time. So you can get grants and programs done with it consecutively during the same time period. But I wouldn't want it to be well, when you just do it, let's take care of everything else first, get a focus on it. They should be in this particular quarter, this is what we're working on, this is what we're working on this time. Like you said, 2024, we're doing the roads. The other times we're doing these. So we're dealing with the actual plan. We have an idea where we're going.
Okay, I think just the idea we could go and just start the conversation.
Yeah, the conversation is definitely needed. What actually the residents, the children, the seniors, everybody would need access to it.
I'm sure we need it. We're long over it. Yes, sir, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
My question is, why don't we just start with the small stuff first? Like striping Blackhawk, like when I came out here in 1870, the street was striped. Now you can't find a stripe nowhere on the street. Which is something real small, like cutting those bushes down over there by the swimming pool, cleaning that area up over there like it should be. I know we don't have the manpower, but I see a lot of guys sitting around on their phone, in the truck. They can go over there, cut some bushes down.
When you see something like that happen, please call.
No. But I'm just saying the small stuff like striping the street. Blackhawk always been striped.
Yeah, it has been.
And then Olmsted is not striped. And that is a street that brings all the buses to middle school. You should be embarrassed. I mean, and you're walking up to please.
Okay, great. More
I'm not just not seeing. How come we don't get to see any of this?
You seen it for the first time. Okay.
Why do you have meetings among yourselves and And don't get pulled up. I'm asking people to the audience, because they know about. We never had it.
This is the first time. This is the baby voice. This is the first time. You might saw people up at the town hall meeting, but this is the first time that it's actually had this conversation regarding multi-purpose. So you're the first one, and the person I gave you my copy as the person before. Because I love you so much.
That's what makes us feel like.
But don't feel that way. Sometimes you have to remove yourself and trust those who know to get things done.
We need to know what's going on.
Okay. So you got it in the conversation just going to be started. There's a lot of work. Go ahead, Robert. You got it. He can speak for himself. He's filling in for Felicia. Yeah. Thanks. His name is Attorney Michael Grant.
Okay, please, continue to join us. But please join us.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Wait, Rob, real quick.
The sinkholes and everything. What's taking so long to do that?
What's that?
The sinkholes and the
Well,
rest of the street, what?
unfortunately, it won't be happening in 2023 to 2024.
So all the rest of the things that we discussed last year, we take care of them.
Yes, across the program. As Steve says, I'm very concerned. We had public, well, that's another story. We need streets right because you can't tell. And I feel the chance. Coming down the street, that's what they're saying. Go to South Track and somebody hit somebody. Who's it called? Yeah. You come inside. You come inside. If we can't tell you to stay on this side, who's the fault? All right. Thank you.
Are we getting more?
It's a work in progress. Initially, they want the conversation. Oh, I'm not really talking about personnel. That's all. I'm not talking about personnel.
So my question, can we continue with this agenda?
All right, okay, thank you. All right, everybody cool?
Yeah, that's right. I just was gonna ask a little back to Scott. Do we see the motor fuel tax fund?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And if I'm not mistaken, we got item 51F and 51H. Discussion of purchase of boundary equipment for University Park. In anticipation of the 24
So in your packet, I included some pricing. These are pricing that I came up with when I sat down individuals in tier 3. These are necessity items if we want to keep the golf course being maintained by the village and not have to hire a volunteer service company. So we did have in tier 3, they did maintain this facility for us. So I can't. So. Can I go back to 2 seconds so the staff is So yeah, so I am interested in actually hiring some individuals, some of the individuals that used to work there previously. I've had conversations about getting them trained so they know how to properly cut the grass. This is all of the necessary equipment that we need to be able to facilitate this. We wouldn't have to come up with this money, obviously, right all the front. We can actually get this financed. I looked at some of them range from $1,500
$2,500 to $2,000 for each piece of equipment. Please keep in mind, we're no longer paying a management company. So to date, in the past couple of months since September 1st, we brought up over $50,000. And we still have some events that are going to be lined up coming up. But however, there's no point we will not be able to open in the spring if we do not get ahead of this now and purchase the slot very quickly. So you can see here, the estimated total is around $128,500. I also included in there because I just wanted you to see that this is a contract that was facilitated years ago. I looked up some of the older contracts with Napa and Golf Cart Company. That's about $7,400, and the beverage card, we need a beverage card. The beverage card is $10,700. So that's not included, obviously in 428, so it's looking more like 440 for everything. And that's giving us a little bit more. So, I'm sorry? So a beverage card is when, and I got a lot of complaints because we don't have one there now. So when golfers come out, especially in the summer when it's hot, there's someone that's on a beverage card. Every golf course has one. And someone drives around and they sell things. And that's really how, so you don't make a lot of money on the golf side. You make money when you have events, you make money on the food portion. So when people drive around in carts, they sell water, drinks, Gatorade, whatever it is that you want, and they can also bring it to you out on that cart. And it has like a section, almost like the street vendors, but it's a little more sophisticated where there's places for warming, for hot dogs, to keep drinks cold and things like that. So the cart that was there is completely dilapidated. It does not work. It cannot be used. It was garbage. It's been garbage for a long time, so we need to get that replaced. When I first came, there were complaints about the beverage cart. So we do need to get a new beverage cart. I included that in there. Also, another thing I want to keep in mind with everyone, I can forward some of the old quotes, but this equipment moves really fast because of the fact that during the pandemic, the factory shut down for a year. So even though they reopened a couple years ago, they're still behind on production. So as equipment comes available, which will probably be grabbing equipment from different areas, not necessarily in the state of Illinois. I was speaking with Pepper Sports, Deer Creek, some other organizations and companies. They explained to me that we have to jump on it when equipment becomes available. And they said they agreed to assist with us in getting this equipment, and also we have two different options on how we can go with training staff. I did speak with Glenn Woody. I spoke with the village manager over there, who was gracious enough, the mayor also over there, to offer their staff to train. Obviously, we have to pay them, but to be able to train our employees to the process. So I'm just asking, as this becomes available, I wanted all this to be upfront. But as we're able to grab the equipment, I will notify the board what happened to approve it. And it will come up on our meetings, but I wanted to get ahead of the game and let everyone know what the upfront costs in total is going to be. We're obviously not going to spend this money up front. We'll be lucky if we get all this equipment out of school by March. But I'm going to bring the young and strong, just like I've been running this golf course without management. Continue to put this together. So I just wanted to run this by the board to be transparent and let you know the pricing and what it's going to cost. And that's it.
Same question. Y'all already know. So this voting for our golf carts, they just supply golf carts, and that's the purchase.
Yes.
And then now, this is.
Wait, which ones are you speaking about? So no, we won't get it, no. So we won't be getting it from any one place. I'm gonna go for the best price, the best piece of equipment, and what's available. That's gonna be a big determinant on whether or not we're able to get all of the equipment. We at least need, somewhere says two, we need one, but we really need two then for all of this. This is the basic necessity. If we get all of this stuff going, we'll be able to have a successful policy.
That wasn't.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, you know, I like to see more than one example. I don't want you to email me and say, this is this. I want everybody to see all the boxes, so we can make a decision about that's where the street is from. And yes, I'll try, and we may not be able to get 3 options on a piece of equipment. I will show you every place I contacted, what's available. I had extensive conversation. We got a piece of equipment in Texas that we needed, one in Tiffany, another one in Wisconsin. The equipment is all over the country. And Kemper is one of the top management companies in the Midwest, for sure, information. And they told me you're going to be hard pressed to get, you're not going to get all the equipment in state, and you're not going to be able to necessarily have a lot of a selection, but I'll definitely give you the board as many options of what's available. And I'll just show you everything that's available.
For all of these different models, this looking is basically what's rebuild a brand new golf course because it looks like we have nothing. How are we gonna protect these items? Because I believe the store, storage facility right now that it was in, is that gonna be updated or what?
Yes, so I've already made the changes, changing the alarm system. We've also changed the codes. I've even gone as far as to add sensors that weren't around the facility. For example, we see the window and door now has a sensor, an activation sensor, and we previously did not have that. So there were certain areas of the golf course where you could go and if you know which door to go into, you could go in and gain access. Now, that's not the case. So.
Or can we be reimbursed for some of that? We need to start another action.
So we do have an active situation going. We have I call it a working police report, because as things come up, which may not come up every day, in the beginning, obviously a lot of things that were missing. But now, not so often, but those things come up, I do document it. I do have a copy of the one piece of equipment that we need to pay for. And that was for the John Deere mower, wide mower, which was $10,000. I did have extensive conversation with this gentleman from Lewis Equipment, who told me that a lot of the equipment, some of it that was in there at least was this equipment. Some of that equipment was leased.
But what about the equipment that wasn't leased?
That was in the police report. Yes.
So do we know all the lease equipment was returned?
That I don't know, because I don't know all of the companies where she may have leased equipment. The only reason why I know is when I talked to this gentleman from Mercy, he did have some knowledge of that, and then I also confirmed by some of the employees, some of the staff of the office.
Okay, so it's a possibility that something not been returned again. We'll find out once the leasing company says something about them or something, correct?
Yes, but we don't have any contracts for any lease that I found. Also, I wanted to add any agreements that this company made, that was on her. I did have a company that reached out to me that said that she had a large balance due. I explained to that individual that they entered into an agreement with this company, so we're not liable for that. I also do forward that information to our council that confirm that.
Could you do a comparison to all the things they claim that they had done, and all the things they said they purchased, because they were really killing the village financially, as far as they said they paid this, they compared this. Do you have a list of inventory? And then at that point, since we talked about the cart, because they had people involved, and I'm sure they do, so how did they depreciate or did they decide? So I'm just saying, we just look, we do have inventory at all, we're trying to get one, and then do the comparison.
what we lost and what we don't have. So we can retrieve some of it.
Yeah, I am working on that, so there's a few different things going. The active police report, we are taking inventory. We're also, I'm looking at things that we know that are finding missing. And we're documenting that, that's part of how we came up with this plan and this equipment. But a lot of things we're really starting over from scratch. A perfect example is the aeration, when they came to do the aerating for the winter. And fortunately, the irrigation system is intact, thank God, because they came out, because Deer Creek told me they're spending $1 million to install their new irrigation system. So I was really grateful when they came out that it looked like that it was working. So those kind of things we'll be able to get by. There is a grant that I had a conversation with Intero about that I found that I think we may qualify for. So some of the things that I want to get fixed aside from the debt, which is misfits, which was done by it was all done by a bill, and a couple months ago, we're still waiting on some parts, that's why they haven't started. But there's assessments of the building that need to be fixed. The heating and cooling system needs to be upgraded and looked at. So there's a lot of different things that we need to fix. There's compliance issues that we've been going through the Board County, the health department to make sure that those items are fixed. There's small things like the ice maker wasn't working. So they were bringing ice in, so the ice maker is now working. There's sealants around the large refrigerator. So it's little things, it's big things. We had to replace tongs, we had to replace toilet paper towels. It's little things and it's big things. But I have a list of the larger things that need to get done. Whatever we can apply for through this grant, we can apply for it. The grant opens up, I believe, in May. It's actually specifically the power grant, the ARC. You can look it up. I believe it's through IBNR. And if we can, we're going to go after that grant and see if we can, get some of those things fixed through the grant, so it won't be on the tax.
Question. Did you say that did you ever hire anyone to run them? Anybody?
So when I came in, it was nearing the end of fall season. We literally had 10 weeks. I've extended a few days because we had people call and say, why are we closing? People are still coming. Some people don't have an issue with golfing in 55, 60 degree weather. So we have continued to stay open, but it has been winterized. And if the board so chooses at a later date, things change. We could entertain maybe having somebody there to manage it. It might be one individual to assist me with the events. We had all kinds of activities there. That's the bulk of how we made our money. It wasn't through golfing. Making $18 per person golfing now because it's fall off season. Fall off means after a certain time, at the peak season, the prices get cut. So you don't make a lot of money that way. You make it when you put on events. So I would like to, when things get better in the coming year, maybe look at getting someone who can help me in assisting, coordinating the events. But I think at this point, seeing that last bond payment's been made, we should consider keeping it and to just see how it will work. I don't know. It's been before the village had possession of the golf course, but I think that we should give it a try because we have not had to pay out a management company. Like I said, we did bring in $50,000 today. So I know that it can not necessarily be a cash cow, but we definitely, I believe, can run the facility to the point where it won't be at a disadvantage to us financially.
Can we rent it out? Are you going to be renting it out for special?
We have been renting it out for events. We rented it out for the wedding. You can call myself. Neva has been assisting me. So you can just give me a call, send an email, the dates, and we can go from there.
So, when you say, you don't know how long the village will have the golf?
Meaning, whatever direction, if 5 years from now they decide they're gonna sell it, if 5 years, 10 years from now, whatever, I'm just thinking of what we have to do now proactively for the next golf season.
I have to ask this, I have to had a meeting with, George, and, he spoke about how, we were talking about the farm. There's $625,000, that's supposed to be, used for the farm. And he states that you are supposed to, write out a plan to, can you tell us a little bit more about that, or are you familiar with it?
A plan, no, so it doesn't work that way. When you apply for a grant, whatever you put in that grant, you have to, right, so what I'm saying is, I can't at this point rewrite that story. Once, when you apply for a grant, it's very specific, very specific. You have to enter in dollar amounts, you have to enter in every single thing, what you're changing, what you're not. If you do not fulfill that grant, on the back end of the reporting, you either will forfeit that money, you may owe somebody that money back, depending on what agency you got that money from. So however that grant is administered, we have to fulfill that. So that can change the grant.
This is about the University Park Golf Course, not Eagle Farm. Let's stick to the agenda. We got one item left on the list.
Okay, I have a question. The first question I had is, so you have been essentially just running the golf course.
Yes.
Perfect. Are we suing this company and the rest for all, because all of that money you have to send out, all of that stuff is supposed to be done. I remember several meetings.
We're gonna have that conversation, start litigation goes.
Yeah, we've been actively engaged with the council. Like I said, yeah. And,
so that's what my question is. We wouldn't have to spend our money because that money was already supposed to, you know what I'm saying, all the money, all that stuff was supposed to be already. So.
I'm just trying to fix this
If
up.
we recoup any money, is what I'm saying.
If we can be legal.
Okay, and that should be used.
If we're able to, absolutely.
Have we lost money for the
No. All right. Thank you. All right, 518, discussion of appointments of the following committees and commissions.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I was told strongly that at our next meeting, that these people are installing these committees. I don't even see my name. I don't see other people's names who signed up for committees. It's not one. Who is responsible for keeping this list? No, right now, who is responsible? Who you
So
say?
business, these names here, when they file the application, that's what.
My name is not on.
Yeah,
I filled one out. I filled out one. I must not be liaison, you had veterans, and nobody told me anything about it. I found out when I just happened to veterans, all the time. I already had a commitment. And everybody was. So that's, I just feel like somebody was dragging their feet about these committees, we need this. And people want to do it. I did it too.
everybody did.
Yeah, but it was after I had already made it. After that, so I didn't get it in no time. So.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
For the police and fire commission, are they in 4 or are they in 3?
Here at 4. And you know what, there's some other stuff, maybe I'll ask you to talk to Commissioner Mark, just regarding the police and fire commission. That's not my thing, so I'm not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I think, he did call me, and I kind of, from the roundabout way, I think I heard it was in reference to that, the seat, in reference to, if you had a seat that was open, that say that commissioner had resigned, retired, he that seat was to remain open until you appoint somebody to it, you might have this hurdle. So either way it goes, that it falls back, well, under that ordinance, the ordinance is just, you did not appoint nobody to that seat. So we may have misheard the state law, the state law for a commissioner is that usually the commissioner, I know, well, we do it different. We went to training seminars, some of the guys have been appointed one time and they've been there 25 years. We seem to be the only community that constantly change and really, to be honest, the Police and Fire Commission Association looks at us kind of funny. And that is kind of embarrassing to be like one of the very few black faces in that during those training seminars to continue to have different positions.
Yeah.
So I think what it was that I think he might have misinterpreted the law that says that if a commissioner resigned, he could not resign, which I'll talk to him later about.
Yeah.
That was what he was talking about.
Yeah.
He could not resign. That's not true. What happens, the truth is that that seat remains open until the appointment is officially made. So I think that I see the two names are on here. Mrs. Covington and then Bobby Greer, that I think that if we're gonna have two names, one, we should decide which one,
Five.
Use five.
Yeah, five.
Yeah.
Standard terms.
Yeah, I see we have two, and I know Commissioner Greer definitely has her certification experience. She sat as a past secretary, and she sat as a past secretary and a past vice president. She was secretary when I was the chairman and vice chair after that. So I see we have two applied now, and I think if we're going to make decisions, it's for a committee, especially that commission, that is a wise appointment. A wise appointment. Okay, I'm just saying, right, because you cannot play, I see this, a commissioner hands up, that's one of the commissions that I think the only way this village is going to move forward with the manpower is that if we have, now I've had conversations, I've heard some people tell me that conditions or that some towns are a little different compared to when I was there 6 years ago, that officers are jumping from town to town. I don't know about, I haven't spoken to those, I can tell you that in 2015, when we initially did the test in here, we had over 100 some officers there. Test.
That's not just, we got testing coming up. Yeah, we got testing coming up, if I'm not mistaken. Saturday.
Okay, yeah. And I do hope that it's over.
I hope we get a good turnout.
A good turnout. And what else I was gonna say? Then we had a good turnout. And then also in reference to our current police officers. There were police officers, I think that we took the step because only 6 officers took the exam, the sergeant's exam. Us as a commission, only through experience and understanding, me myself, we had dropped some of the pass-fail requirements and ranked them upon that. And so that there were officers that still had a chance to come through. The problem that I have, at least when I talk about this commission alone, is that if we don't get our act in order, we're not going to have any firefighters, we're not going to have any police officers on the streets. There's no use of this guy going out leasing some damn cars and being at the officers. And the reason why I say that, and I give it that the officers are patrolling. I appreciate it. It's not going to. We need more than that. This should be at the point that they bump into each other out there. That's how many officers you should have out there. It should be to the point that officers are bumping into each other. We going this way, and just like the other day, we're coming down, what's this University Parkway? I don't see a police officer. But I can't question and call the chief and say, where are your police officers? Because he only had 2 or 3. And they don't work 16-hour shifts.
But just for the record, everybody who knows, who's listening to the broadcast, know that we have 10 to 12 officers on the streets every single night. For those who are observing. So, yeah, we are short in some areas, but our 10 to 12 officers that patrol every single day are making sure our residents are kept safe.
You know they laugh at you, right?
I know they are. That's all right. That's all right. Is there a motion? Second? Trustee,
Yes, of course, I'm for it, but I want to please hopefully make sure that the residents that have volunteered on those committees that have expired, the term have expired, for you all to make sure that letters is sent out to the residents, thanking them for their service, and asking if they're interested in volunteering to do that on the other committees. Please, be added to the letter. I believe the letter is already created, so that we can make sure that the residents that have committees that have their term expired, send them their letters, thanking them before the new committee.
Okay.
Can you ask,
All right, thank you so much. That was been a motion by Trustee Brooks in the second. By, McFadden.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, can we say this now or just maybe with, trustee, what is this?
Let's get them on there. People on the list, let's get them on. And what's your question? What's your
It's like 4 people now.
Okay.
So.
The advisement, like trustee, she's on that committee. She knows who's showing up, who's doing what, and the same way Mr. Payton was on that. He knows who's showing up, who's doing what. She doesn't want to waste her time. Was it everything? Tuesday, Right. You just see that individuals who are not going to be committed to represent.
Maybe Saturday is here, he's done, and,
Randy,
Nails.
his name Randy.
Bells.
I thought she said Randy.
All right. So there's a motion to say, all in favor? All opposed? None? Thank you.